Three violent incidents involving Aurora police in just 3 months. One man was killed, 2 others sent to the hospital. Good evening, I'm Ann Trujillo.
And I'm Shannon Ogden. We're going to start with Elijah McLean, this 23-year-old who died in a violent encounter with police in August while he was walking home from a convenience store.
And then there was Andy Huff. The 22-year-old was shot by police back on October 11th. He was recovering, but his attorney says he's back in the hospital tonight with serious infections, and he is now on a ventilator.
Okay, so that brings us to Sunday now. A man was shot while police were responding to a fight outside an apartment building on East 14th Avenue. Now, he was hit multiple times and taken to the hospital in serious condition.
Denver 7's Gary Brode is live in our newsroom tonight. Gary, Aurora police are now being criticized for a lack of transparency.
Yeah, and Shannon, I asked the Aurora deputy chief if they are concerned the department is losing trust in the community. He says it's always a concern, calling this news conference an opportunity to let everyone know these cases have not been forgotten. 3 cases, 3 open investigations, no publicly released body cam footage. The Aurora Police Department now explaining why.
We take our direction for release of information pretty much directly from the district attorney's office.
Elijah McLean died in late August. The official cause of death has not yet been released. Police reports say a struggle ensued with officers, and he was given what they call a standard medication to reduce McLean's agitation. His family was allowed to see the body cam video. The family's lawyer spoke about it earlier this month.
3 out of 3 of those police officers claim that their cameras dislodged when they went hands-on. Well, that's awfully convenient, isn't it?
Aurora Deputy Police Chief Paul O'Keefe calls McLean's death a horrible tragedy, saying it's not uncommon for the cameras to become dislodged, especially during a physical altercation.
We want them to stay on, and it would be helpful for us if they stayed on.
Andy Huff was shot by police inside his home earlier this month.
And I went to look out the window again, and then right after that I look out the window and someone jumps over here and just starts shooting. They said freeze one time, but they're already shooting.
Huff and police both say the same thing. Huff did have a gun, and no officer ever verbally identified themselves. Where they differ, Huff says he never knew it was police at the door. Aurora police are maintaining Huff saw the officer through his window.
There is no doubt in my mind that Mr. Huff knew it was the police that were there and went and grabbed that firearm anyway.
The day after our interview with Huff last week, he went back to the hospital where he still remains.
He is in ICU fighting the infection. The infection almost killed him, and he's in rough shape. He's on a ventilator. He can't speak. He's got tubes down his throat.
The shooting officer in Huff's and the 14th Avenue cases are still on leave. The officers associated with McLean's death are back to normal duty. No charges have been filed yet in the 14th Avenue shooting. In Aurora, Gary Brode, Denver 7.